Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the Utility Board meeting for June 16th. Please rise for the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right, this meeting is called to order at 6:52 p.m. Can I get a roll call, please?
Robert Carnahan?
Here.
Julie Rivera? Here. Nicholas Recupido?
Here.
Chuck Becker?
Here.
Greg Parker?
Here.
Mary Jo Dixon?
Here.
Richard Thiel?
Here.
I am present. Tim Kubiak?
Here.
David Austin?
Present.
Thank you. All right, we'll start with consent agenda item 1, minutes from the May 19th, 2026 meeting. Any questions? If not, look for a motion.
I'll make a motion to approve. I'll second.
We'll go with Julie. All right, we have a motion to approve made by Mr. Becker, seconded by Ms. Rivera. Roll call, please.
Robert Carnahan?
Yes.
Julie Rivera?
Yes.
Nicholas Recupido?
Yes.
Chuck Becker?
Yes.
Greg Parker?
Yes.
Mary Jo Dixon?
Yes.
Richard Thiel?
Yes, motion carries 7-0. Move on to reports. Item number 1, a written report, fund report, clerk treasurer.
Cash and expenditure reports have been sent out.
Thank you. Move on to item 2, consultants, staff reports, engineering, sanitary update, NEAS. Neil.
Thank you, Mr. President. Project 2 of the West Side Sanitary Interceptor, substantial completion is expected within 4 to 6 weeks. Restoration and testing will follow that, and we will submit those testing reports to IDEM as is required as part of our construction permits. The design for Project 3 of the West Side Interceptor is 90% complete. Rich, you and I talked about that about a week ago.
Mm-hmm.
We will have the item permit prepared for your signature within the next couple of weeks, and then we expect probably a 2 to 3 week turnaround on that, and that permit will be good for a year. We have coordinated with Tim and Tony from the sewer department regarding the connections for the future, looking towards the area directly northeast of 155th and Parish, to provide them with a sewer line so that they do not need a lift station for their project. So that would potentially continue through out to Parish and give us the option to continue west of Parish near the railroad tracks, and we still have about 5 feet of cover in that area. So we're looking to maximize how do we capture everything by gravity and avoid the numerous lift stations that you already have going forward into the future for any development that may or may not occur, but at least the capacity and the elevation is there to take.
Okay.
Any questions? Thank you.
Thanks, Neil. All right, we'll move on to water updates. Seabell. Kevin.
Hello, everyone. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Good evening. Update on the water side is the design for the west new well facilities is in progress. Working with the water department with Tim Kubiak about the design parameters and the needs of what the town is looking for on that particular site, and having a meeting this week to talk through some of those design features.
Okay. Any questions? No. And you did have a chance to go through that whole report?
I did, yes.
With the results? Okay.
Yep, looking prosperous.
Yes.
For what we're needing.
Yes, it did. All right, thank you, Kevin.
Thank you.
All right, moving on to Director of Operations, Superintendent Tim.
I don't really have a lot. I mean, we had a pretty good power outage last week during that storm and flood. Kind of brought to light one thing that we've been kind of kicking around for the past couple of years that we've never made progress on is a generator at Lift Station 3 over there by the True Value. So we're going to get some quotes on that just to see where we're at and see what it would take to put one there. But that's one of the larger ones. I mean, we have 2 portable generators, and when what happened Thursday happens, we're just, I mean, kind of, spread pretty thin, to say the least. But with that amount of water and that widespread of a power outage, thankfully, the power outage didn't last a super long time, and by the time we actually got
It
generators...
lasted long enough, Tim. Yeah.
It was long enough, but by the time we got generators to where they were going, which was only about an hour, not even an hour, lift station 3 came back on, and we kind of chased around, and almost by the time we got to them with generators, the power was coming back on, so... It was hectic, but, thankfully, it wasn't that long of a time frame, but, when it does go widespread, we definitely, get a lot of problems quickly, so it was kind of enlightening, I guess, to say the least.
You told me we got 2 foot of water outside the building, and it was like this building was in a pond.
Yeah.
And, planning department got flooded, and you went down to Public Works and brought fans and stuff down, and, we have a generator out there that covers that area because it's the old police department.
Right.
But I honestly think we need a generator for this side of the building too. We had to shut the building down because they had no power in here, and, I did get, called by the sandbar, and our lift station was down there, and, they got flooded from the toilet backing up into their facility. And they asked me, should I turn the bill into the town? And I told them, turn it into your insurance, and whatever your insurance does, that's up to them.
Yeah, there was a lot of water in a short amount of time.
We got 4 inches, you told me.
And the water, the building department, like he said, there was 8 inches of water against the front of the building, the pond out there, the parking lot. Everything was full, and it actually happened again Saturday night, or Saturday during the middle of the night. It flooded a second time just due to the lake being so full that drain is out in the lake. And the first time, in 8 to 10 minutes after it stopped raining, the entire out there was completely, the pond was empty, the parking lot the water was gone. Just that pipe couldn't take the water fast enough, so.
I got up and my yard was completely flooded and my driveway was completely flooded.
Yeah. It was a lot, so.
All right, any questions for Tim?
No, sir.
All right, thanks, Tim.
Thank you.
We'll move on to town attorney.
No reports.
All right, thank you. We didn't have anything under update discussion right now, and we do not have a JMA report. Okay. Anything before we go to public comment?
You gonna try to schedule a JMO meeting, or
Huh?
I'm gonna try to schedule a JMO meeting?
We are actually going to have a meeting, just you, myself, Sue, and David, 3:30, Wednesday, tomorrow. So kind of discussion on, the request we had from them as far as those, capacity stuff, and then, discussing on how we go about doing that. So we're gonna kind of have that tomorrow.
Neil, I gave you, that April report from the wastewater and you did get it back to me.
Yes,
Thank
thank you
you.
very much, Bob. Appreciate it.
All right, I guess we will move on to public comment for utility board. Second call for public comment, utility board. Third call? Anybody online?
No attendees.
All right, public portion of this meeting is closed. All right, next, utility board meeting will be Tuesday, July 21st, 6:30 PM. Are we gonna take a little break before we go into council, or just go?
Yeah, 5 minutes.
We're gonna take a 5-minute break for council. This meeting is adjourned at 7:01 PM.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Town of Cedar Lake Town Council meeting for June 16, 2026. Would you all please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance and remain standing for an opening prayer?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Good evening. Let us pray. God, as our nation embarks upon 250 years of pursuing life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness, we pray that your blessings would fall upon us. Our lives have been challenged lately due to threatening storms and damage, and we pray that you protect us and protect those who serve in emergency capacities. Our liberty is torn apart by our rhetoric and our divisions. We ask that you unite us. Help us to pursue happiness in a way that is fitful after your will and after your way. In these deliberations tonight, grant us your wisdom and your guidance, and let these who take these important roles of decision-making be blessed by your Spirit's presence. We ask this in your name. Amen.
Amen.
Thank you.
And just for the record, Ken Hewin is the chaplain for the police department. That's what I put back in my church.
Thank you, Chaplain. This meeting is called to order at 7:11 p.m. Roll call, please, Ms. Sandberg.
Robert Carnahan.
Here.
Julie Rivera. Here. Nicholas Recupero.
Here.
Chuck Becker.
Here.
Greg Parker.
Here.
Mary Jo Dixon.
Here.
Richard Teal.
Here.
I am present. John Grushka.
Here.
Tim Kubiak.
Here.
Nick Mager.
Here.
David Austin.
Present.
Thank you.
Should we say
Yeah.
Craig's here? Or should we mention that he's here or no?
Since he's not a department head,
Okay,
I
I'm just
don't-
asking.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, first agenda item is a proclamation, and Chaplain had dovetailed us into this, the 250th anniversary of the United States of America.
And before you say that, Nick called me and asked me if I knew of anything, and I told him that Monica, our administrative assistant, was very good at doing that, and I believe she put this together for us.
She did, Bob, yeah.
Nice.
I figured you'd be a good resource because you get out and about a lot
He's
with
done a
other
lot of
communities.
proclamations too in the
Yeah.
past.
Yeah,
Yeah.
well, she's good at doing that,
Yeah.
and we thank her for that.
We do. She did a great job. So this is a proclamation celebrating the semi-quincentennial of the United States of America. Whereas July 4th, 2026 marks the 250th anniversary of the signing of the Declaration of Independence and the founding of the United States of America, and whereas this historic milestone known as the semi-quincentennial offers an opportunity to reflect on our nation's foundational principles of liberty, equality, and justice for all, and whereas the story of our nation is shaped by the unique contributions of individual communities, including the town of Cedar Lake and the people of Lake County, Indiana, and whereas Cedar Lake has grown from its rich natural origins into a vibrant community that embodies the Hoosier spirit of hard work, resilience, and neighborly unity, and whereas this anniversary encourages all citizens to honor the sacrifices of past generations, celebrate our shared achievements, and recommit to the ongoing work of perfecting our union, and whereas the National America 250 initiative invites every community to participate in civic engagement, historic reflection, and local celebration. Now, therefore, be it resolved that the Town Council of the Town of Cedar Lake, Indiana, do hereby proclaim July 4th, 2026 as America's 250th birthday celebration day in Cedar Lake, Indiana, and call upon all residents to join in local observances, reflect on our nation's history, and look forward with hope toward our shared future. So, happy birthday, America, and
Should we have a motion to approve this and all the council signature appear on it?
Sure, that's,
I'll make that motion.
That's a great motion.
okay. Motion made by Mr. Carnahan, do we have a second?
I'll second.
Seconded by Mr. Teal. Any further discussion? Roll call, please.
Robert Carnahan?
Yes.
Julie Rivera?
Yes.
Mary Jo Dixon?
Yes.
Chuck Becker?
Yes.
Greg Parker?
Yes.
Richard Teal?
Yes.
Nicholas Recupero?
Yes, motion carries 7-0. We'll get some signatures on that, maybe get it in like a frame or something, you know? Thanks for your help on that, Bob, and Monica as well. Okay, we'll open up the floor for public comment on agenda items only. Public comment on agenda items only. Second call. Last call. Anybody online, Ms. Amber?
No attendees.
Okay, thank you. Public comment on agenda items only is now closed. Moving on to the consent agenda. 1, approval of minutes, February 17th, 2026. 2, claims, all town funds, $702,420.10. Wastewater operating, $49,887.17. Water utility, $17,406.38. Stormwater, $5,485.67. Payroll, 6/4/2026, $498,814.45. And May remittances, $212,539.08. Before we move on to the donations, Chief Mager has a letter to read. It's pertaining to the Huppenthal Trust donation to the fire department. Sir?
Yes. Good evening, council, family, and friends of Mr. Edward Huppenthal and community. In 2024, Mr. Huppenthal generously willed a substantial donation to the Cedar Lake Fire Department for capital improvements and major equipment purchases. The timing of this gift was especially meaningful as our department was in urgent need of replacing our self-contained breathing apparatus. It was determined that this donation would be distributed into 2 phases. The first distribution was designated for the purchase of the new SCBA units. We are proud to share this project was successfully completed in June of 2025, and the equipment is fully in service. The second distribution before you tonight was received in May of this year, and planning is currently underway for a comprehensive personnel protective equipment replacement program that will address immediate needs and a long-term 10-year strategy. On behalf of the Town of Cedar Lake Fire Department and the entire community, we extend our deepest gratitude for Mr. Huppenthal's extraordinary generosity. His gift will have a lasting impact, helping to protect both firefighters and the citizens we serve for years to come. While it may not always be visible, the significance of this donation cannot be overstated as it directly contributes to saving lives every day. Please know that the benefit of Mr. Huppenthal's thoughtful legacy extends far beyond the town of Cedar Lake. His gift is a life-saving investment in thousands of individuals across our broader region. Accept our heartfelt appreciation, knowing that his kindness will continue to bring safety, comfort, and reassurance to many, both now and in the future. In recognition of his enduring impact, there are plans to honor Mr. Huppenthal with a memorial park bench and a plaque. Thank you.
Very good. Thank you, Chief. Our donations are in-kind donation of coffee and donuts to Police Department from Dunkin' Donuts, in-kind donation of bakery items to Police Department from Rise and Roll Bakery, $50 donation to Cedar Lake Phipps from Hanover Schools Education Foundation, and $208,819.39 from the Huppenthal Trust donation to the Fire Department. For Tag Day, Solicitation Day activity, Rick Larson's Wrestling Club, August 1st, 2026. Manual Journal entries, May 1st, 2026 to May 31st, 2026. Do we have a motion to approve the consent agenda?
So move.
Do we have a second?
I'll second.
Motion made by Ms. Dixon, seconded by Ms. Rivera to approve the consent agenda. On behalf of the entire town of Cedar Lake, we thank everybody for their donations. every month. Well, thank you very much, especially the Huppenthal Trust, Edward Huppenthal. It's gonna go a long way for this town. Roll call, please.
I have a question.
Oh, you have I'm sorry, Bob.
Yeah. Looking at this Rick Larson Wrestling Club, it says August 1st, but a second choice of 10/3, so I'm assuming August 1st is available?
I would assume it's available, yeah.
There's a ring day.
Well, that's a good distance, usually it's the next week. So and then, on the claims, we have New Focus HR, which is an amount of $20,825. And I talked with Jen, and she said, some of that stuff, she probably could have handled a little bit of it. And, are we going to have additional bills that may be coming in for that?
I will have to triple check, but I think there might be one outstanding to be paid.
But that's a huge amount. We could have almost paid the salary, start of a salary for somebody for that position.
Well, considering the circumstances of the situation, I'm not sure we had any other choice,
Yeah.
unfortunately. Any other questions or discussion?
No.
All right, roll call, please.
Robert Carnahan?
Yes.
Julie Rivera?
Yes.
Mary Jo Dixon?
Yes.
Chuck Becker?
Yes.
Greg Parker?
Yes.
Richard Hill?
Yes.
Nicholas Recupero?
Yes, motion carries 7-0. Ordinances and resolutions. Number 1, ordinance number 1523, amendment to power and authority to Board of Safety. This item was deferred from June 2nd, 2026 meeting. Was there any homework that was done in the meantime or had to be done? I know we discussed possible change in law.
Yes, so, this change to Indiana Code 36-8-3-4, I know, we didn't feel ready, or some of us didn't feel ready to pass that because of this proposed law, but the way I read it, and it says key takeaway, that's why I needed my glasses, because this is really small. It says key takeaway from July 1st, 2026, Indiana's Police Safety Board system will still allow binding disciplinary actions by official safety boards, but, and this is in bold, civilian oversight boards, example, community review boards, will be limited to advisory roles and cannot directly discipline officers. This change is intended to clarify the scope of authority for oversight entities and prevent them from having direct enforcement power. So the way I read it, and I looked into it, civilian oversight boards to me is like in Chicago, they have COPA, that citizen board that basically like overview officer-involved shootings or use of force and things like that. So what I'm seeing is, it says this is the key takeaway. I think a safety board, which we have in a civilian oversight board, again, are two different things. And, if we can pass this today, if there needed to be a tweak, there could be. But in places like Indianapolis and places like big cities with a lot of crime and having these kind of civilian oversight boards for these issues with officers such as shootings, I take it as that being in bold, that's what that is. Again, and if we pass it today, which is on par with a lot of local communities and with the state, I think we could pass it and make a tweak if we had to make a tweak, but I don't think this new law going in effect will affect this.
Mr. President,
Yes.
Mr. Austin, have you reviewed this?
I have, I drafted it.
So this is a second reading though, right? Because we already read one, so it would be to adopt, right, Dave?
It would be.
Are there any, what I'm looking for, any anticipated law changes from now until July or anything?
Honest to God's ears, it's hard to say.
Okay.
Mr. President, I'd like to make a motion to adopt.
Oh, sorry.
Nothing would usually go into effect from the General Assembly until July 1st annually. So we're approaching that now. We know what the law is now, and essentially repeating that our local body would be a body of advisory style jurisdiction, and that the Board of Safety would have the powers for enforcement and discipline under 36.834. So Julie's citation and information to you is entirely accurate.
Thank you. Mr. Teal had a motion.
Motion to adopt.
I'll second.
Okay, we have a motion made by Mr. Teal, seconded by Ms. Rivera to adopt ordinance number 1523. Any discussion?
Do we need to read it again, Dave?
Oh.
By title.
I'm sorry. Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Yeah. Go ahead. Yeah, go ahead, Rick.
All right, Town of Cedar Lake, Lake County, Indiana, ordinance number 1523. An ordinance amending the Town Board of Safety Power and Authority in Cedar Lake Town Code 34.182, repealing all town ordinances and town code sections and provisions or parts thereof in conflict herewith and all matters related thereto.
Thank you, sir. Now, if we're going to move on to discussion, I have a couple questions because we considered this in the past, the recent past, and at that time we had the town manager spot, filled. And so now if some responsibilities are not going to be part of the Board of Safety anymore, how are we going to function?
That's not accurate, Nick.
It's not?
That is not accurate.
Okay.
The town manager was a prospective appointee to oversee the activities of the Board of Safety. That isn't the state law. What is the state law is what's in this ordinance. And the Board of Safety will oversee discipline and the operations of the police and fire departments. So this is current.
Okay.
It kind of takes us backwards to a time when before this was changed.
Well,
And they have, I'm sorry, Nick.
Go ahead.
They have the work to do. The Board of Safety is the working body under this law.
Yeah, the only reason I say that is because at the time that was in discussion, that was the proposed rearrangement. Okay, it wasn't, yeah.
Well, and I agree, and we had a good debate here on the floor, but over time, that debate winnowed down because the General Assembly changed, and they viewed this differently over time, and by the time they got to adopting laws, this is where they ended up.
So there's obviously a change proposed here through adoption of an ordinance. How do we, how do we relay and what do we relay to both our police and fire chief and our Board of Safety?
Give them the ordinance.
Officially.
Okay.
This is as important as anything else we do to serve and protect here in this town. And this is the authority that the police department has for doing so.
And it's similar to what we did with the park superintendent. It was state law, and this is state law, so we're just approving state law.
Oh, I don't disagree with that, but I just want to make sure we function, you know?
Who's gonna go over electrical policies and who's gonna go over about equipment?
Board of Safety.
So
Under this ordinance adoption, it would be the Board of Safety doing those things.
Okay. What about purchases?
That will be up to the department heads.
That's what I wanted to get back to, where the department heads would ask Jen if it was over a certain amount of money.
Correct.
Because
And there's
some...
a policy here for the amount of money, the threshold level.
Right.
Okay.
15,000? What is the amount? Chiefs might know.
Depends on what you're purchasing, if it's gotta go to bid or not.
Yeah, I know that about bid. I'm asking about the,
Like a
Like a
requisition
daily
request?
purchase, like a PO for something.
right.
To actually pull a purchase order in our system, I have a threshold of $200.
Okay.
Oh,
So anything,
you're tough.
well, because because to me, our purchase order system is directly tied with our general ledger program, so then our department heads can actually see in real time what their remaining balances are. You know, as soon as a purchase order is pulled, it sets that money aside, so then they can look at their unencumbered balances and see what they have available to them.
That makes total sense.
I just want to make sure, you know, if we adopt this, you gentlemen have an understanding of what we're doing here. And maybe you don't have a complete understanding right now, but I think we'll get through it with any questions that may be asked down the road.
The Board of Safety needs to get it too.
Yeah.
It's a collaboration.
Okay. So we'll make sure that if this gets adopted tonight, the Board of Safety gets this as well. Okay. Any further discussion?
I just wanted to read one excerpt of it.
Sure.
The Board of Safety shall adopt rules and regulations concerning policies and procedures governing the hiring, firing, promotion, and demotion of members of the employees of the police and fire department. So I think that's it in a nutshell, like what their role is.
Well, it's not though, Julie. You need to add the next sentence to that, and that is,
The-
the hiring is still this town council.
So the next one is the rules and regulations of the Board of Safety made part of section, the Board of Safety may amend said rules and regulations from the time it sees fit. The employment of employees shall be subject to approval by the town council.
Exactly. On recommendation from the Board of Safety.
Yeah. Any further discussion? Roll call, please, Miss Amber.
Robert Carnahan?
Yes.
Julie Rivera?
Yes.
Mary Jo Dixon?
Yes.
Chuck Becker?
Yes.
Greg Parker?
Yes.
Richard Field?
Yes.
Nicholas Recupero?
Yes, motion carries 7-0. Ordinance 1523 is adopted. Moving on to resolution number 1399, a transfer resolution. Title only, please. Mr.
Town of
Field.
Cedar Lake, Lake County, Indiana, resolution number 1399, a resolution authorizing appropriation transfers by the clerk treasurer for the following funds during budget year 2026.
Thank you, sir. Ms. Amber?
So within your general fund, total transfers of $26,000, that's under the town council department, $1,000 from 116 overtime to 119 PTO payout, $1,000 from 398 promotion to 397 dues and subscriptions, and $10,000 from 313 professional services to 399 facilities. Under the police department, that is $10,000 from 112 full-time officers to 119 PTO payout. Under planning, zoning, and building, that is $1,000 from 112 full-time staff to 119 PTO payout, and $1,000 from 112 full-time staff to 125 unemployment. And within the Parks and Recreation, $1,000 from 122 FICA Med to 119 PTO payout, and $1,000 from 122 FICA Med to 118 on-call duty. And under the redevelopment fund, 404, total transfers of $3,500 from 111 full-time staff to 119 PTO payout, and $2,500 from 111 full-time staff to 125 unemployment.
Thank you, ma'am.
I tried to go too fast, sorry.
It's okay.
These PTOs, they're for employees that, have left the company, left the town, and, can we say who they are and what the amounts are?
I'm not comfortable saying names, but I will say that, yes, it's for employees that have left employment, and it's their accrued time that they are due, so comp time, vacation days they had remaining that they didn't utilize.
And one employee is getting $10,000 with PTO.
Some large numbers.
Yep.
Okay, thank you. Do we have a motion to approve resolution number 1399?
So moved.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
Motion made by Mr. Teal, seconded by Mr. Becker to approve resolution number 1399, the transfer resolution. Any further discussion? Roll call, please.
Robert Carnahan?
Yes.
Julie Rivera?
Yes.
Mary Jo Dixon?
Yes.
Chuck Becker?
Yes.
Greg Parker?
Yes.
Richard King?
Yes.
Nicholas Recupero?
Yes, motion carries 7-0. Moving on to BZA and plan. Number 1, acceptance of performance letter of credit extension for Rose Garden Estates Phase 3.
I would like to say this is for BMO and Christopher B. Brooks, letter of February 13th, 2026, can be reduced to $434,790.88. I'll make the motion for that approval.
Very good. We have a motion to approve. Do we have a second?
I'll second.
Motion made by Mr. Carnahan, seconded by Mr. Teal to accept performance letter of credit extension for Rose Garden Estates Phase 3. Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Robert Carnahan?
Yes.
Julie Rivera?
Yes.
Mary Jo Dixon?
Yes.
Chuck Becker?
Yes.
Greg Parker?
Yes.
Richard Teal?
Yes.
Nicholas Recupero?
Yes, motion carries 7-0. Number 2, acceptance of performance letter of credit reduction and extension for Oak Brook Phase 2.
There again, also, this is People's Bank and Christopher B. Brooks' letter of February 13th, 2026 recommends the reduction of $548,631.81. Motion to approve.
Okay.
I'll second.
Motion made by Mr. Carnahan, seconded by Mr. Teal to accept the performance letter of credit reduction and extension for Oak Brook Phase 2. Any further discussion? Roll call, please.
Robert Carnahan?
Yes.
Julie Rivera?
Yes.
Mary Jo Dixon?
Yes.
Chuck Becker?
Yes.
Greg Parker?
Yes.
Richard Teal?
Yes.
Nicholas Recupero?
Yes, motion carries 7-0. Moving on to new business. Number 1, Town Council appointees for the Town Council Affairs Committee. This is a committee that we disbanded a while ago, and we are seeking to reestablish it. Any motion made to appoint members to this board would have to be contingent upon adopting the Town Code Amendment. Is that correct, Attorney Austin?
That is correct.
All right, thank you, sir. Are there, someone like to make a motion to appoint 3 individuals for the Council Affairs Committee?
I'll make a motion to appoint Rich Teal, Mary Jo Dixon, and Chuck Becker.
Okay,
I'll second.
we have a motion made by Ms. Dixon, seconded by Mr. Teal to appoint Rich Teal, Mary Jo Dixon, and Chuck Becker to the Town Council Affairs Committee, contingent upon adopting the Town Code Amendment. Were there any other nominations? Seeing none, any discussion? Roll call, please.
Robert Carnahan?
Yes.
Julie Rivera?
Yes.
Mary Jo Dixon?
Yes.
Chuck Becker?
Yes.
Greg Parker?
Yes.
Richard Teal?
Yes.
Nicholas Recupero?
Yes, motion carries 7-0. Number 2, Zoning Ordinance Committee creation and member appointments. This agenda item stems from the Plan Commission's desire to establish a zoning ordinance committee appointed by the town council. And I think this kind of got kicked off with the chicken ordinance, but it'll pertain to zoning ordinances in general. And we did give instruction to the Plan Commission to create a chicken ordinance. I thought we were pretty clear about that, but regardless, this is something that has to be done to get some things moving along. So I'd be looking for a motion to appoint a handful of members of the town council to the zoning ordinance committee.
I'll make a motion to appoint Nick Recupero, Greg Parker, and Richard Teal.
Okay. We have a motion. Do we have a second?
I'll second it.
Any other appointments? Okay, motion made by Mr. Carnahan, seconded by Mr. Becker to appoint myself, Nick Recupero, Greg Parker, and Rich Teal to the zoning ordinance committee. Any further discussion? Roll call, please.
Robert Carnahan?
Yes.
Julie Rivera?
Yes.
Mary Jo Dixon?
Yes.
Chuck Becker?
Yes.
Greg Parker?
Yes.
Richard Teal?
Yes.
Nicholas Recupero?
Yes, motion carries 7-0. Number 3, approval to sell 2007 pickup truck from Public Works on Gov Deals. Mr. Kubiak?
Yes, this is, the old adult 2007, 2500, that's reached the end of its life here. We recently received a new truck from stormwater funds, and this is one that we are getting rid of. So we're gonna put it on Gov Deals and hopefully get a few bucks for it. We're not sure of its exact value, but we're gonna put it on there and see what happens.
Sounds like a plan.
Motion to approve to sell the 2007 pickup truck, from Public Works on Gov Deals.
We have a motion, do we have a second?
I'll second.
Okay, motion made by Mr. Carnahan, seconded by Mr. Teal to approve the sale of the 2007 pickup truck from Public Works on Gov Deals. Any further discussion? Roll call, please.
Robert Carnahan?
Yes.
Julie Rivera?
Yes.
Mary Jo Dixon?
Yes.
Chuck Becker?
Yes.
Greg Parker?
Yes.
Richard Teal?
Yes.
Nicholas Recupero?
Yes, motion carries 7-0. Number 4, emergency hires for the police department. There's someone that wants to take this one?
Yes, I want to know, if this is a necessary step to take to start filling these emptiness. I know you have some applications currently, and then I just heard from the safety board, they're gonna schedule a meeting.
We've already scheduled for next week. We have
Next
the
week,
second
okay.
round of interviews going. I would say an emergency hire, we're in the middle of a hiring process right
Okay.
now, so it'd be a waste of time.
Okay. That was the lack of communication we were talking about at our meeting. We weren't aware of that, so.
Okay.
With these, applications, do any of them have experience where it's gonna be a lateral transfer, or?
No, we had one for, see, the emergency hire, all that's doing is we're looking for other police officers from other departments to come here. In this hiring process, it's still open to them as well.
Okay.
But this, we're opening it up to people with no experience. We had, as far as a true emergency hire or a lateral, we had one applicant, and they chose not to come to the interview. So we wound up with none. We have one person with some police experience from a different state, but they would have to go through the whole thing to get them certified.
What's the timeline for that, for them
For
to
the
be on the street?
academy?
Yeah,
Well, the academy's in August, and that'll run, right now they're about 14, 15 weeks with it. So you put that out probably closer to the end of the year.
thank you.
You're welcome.
So right now, your advertisement is for everybody. It's for current officers, it's for newbies.
Yes.
So it's just a blanket, advertisement
Right.
application.
And the only thing the emergency hire does is narrow it down to just people who've had the academy.
Which, like, you would prefer if they apply.
Right, if they apply, but we didn't have luck with this, with the open, application process.
It's open application process.
We'll take anybody.
Is it still open?
No, right now, we closed that, and we did the physical agility and the written test. I think we had 24 applicants, or no, we had 24 apply, or 34, and we wound up with 18 showed up. We eliminated 4 during the written test and the physical agility. We had 13 show up for the interview, first phase of the interview process. So now we're down to 6. And next week, we have our interview process where it'll be myself and the safety board interviewing them, and then we'll see where we're at with that.
And you're hiring 2?
At this point, yes.
Because right now, we're 2 officers short. So I thought, we were thinking maybe if you still had an emergency hire, or if you still had applications open for people with experience already.
Yeah, we were taking those too. People were welcome with the academy from other departments to apply. We just didn't get any. We had, like I said, we had 1 applicant, and that person didn't show up.
Because they said it takes almost a year to get them out on the street.
Right.
So,
Yeah.
So what you're saying, Chief, is if we even opened it up for emergency hires, What will
I don't know
change?
I don't know who we would get for that. It
Yeah.
would probably be something similar to what we just saw with our regular hiring process.
Okay,
I went to my nephew, who was at Chesterton Cop's daughter's graduation party, and there were Maryville, Gary, and Valpo officers, and I talked to as many of them as I can, and one of the fringe benefits that benefit officers staying in their department, which is probably costly for us, after they retire, they get health insurance.
Yeah.
yeah.
So we're competing against a group out there that's hard to compete against.
Yeah. So there's nothing we're gonna do with this, right? Okay,
We
so,
just need an update.
all right. So this is an agenda item, Attorney Austin, but we're not gonna do anything with it. Can we,
Not applicable right now.
okay.
Thank you.
No motion needed?
No motion needed.
All right. Thank you, sir. Thank you for the explanation, Chief. Appreciate it.
Thank you. And I believe I have updated I think almost at every report reading, last one we mentioned our application process, where we were at. I just want to be clear with that.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you for that. Number 5, Police Department promotions.
Do we need to direct that to happen, or because you have some openings, so, for the police officers that are leaving, are those positions?
No, I've talked with members of the safety board. We're aware, we know what we have to do with this. Right now, though, we're looking at changing that process and making it more standardized. Right now, just reviewing that, our evaluation process for that, I don't know, it's not as objective as we'd like it to be. So I've had some companies dealing with them to see what we can do to make our process more objective. I mean, you're still always going to have evaluations, but, you know, we're looking at putting in a written test for it. I think that makes it a little more fair for everybody. It gives everybody a fair chance with it. You know, where we're testing more knowledge than, you know, right now, we're looking at 60% of an oral, 60% of the process is an oral interview. I don't know, I just feel we need a written test in there. I mean, I've always been a part of a process for promotions that has a written test, where we're testing a certain skill set for that. In the companies that I've been talking to, they'll take our policies and they'll make that into a test. So it's not like we're, you know, testing something that's never going to apply to us. We're testing a specific knowledge to our specific department and our need.
Sounds like a good idea. So no action needed on this one either? No? Okay. Thank you again, Chief.
Thank you.
We'll move on to discussion items, food truck license. Where are we at on this?
The only question I have is who's gonna enforce it, so I'm taking it the three of you that are working on the zoning will put, you know, like who's gonna enforce it, because a lot of these offenses happen on the weekends. So it's kinda hard to, you know, because we're just gonna have to make sure, if we're gonna have it and we're gonna enforce it, then we need to have someone responsible for it, or a department, or...
Would this affect Summerfest or the farmer's market?
No, this is a separate, it's a separate food application, like the ones that are in town.
Oh, okay, it doesn't relate to something that happens on the town grounds?
No.
Okay.
Or nothing to do with, like, if the American Legion does their motorcycle show and they have food booths, it doesn't affect that either.
Okay.
It's on the first page, it tells what's, or if the high school has something, it's,
Outside a special event.
yeah.
Correct.
Thank you.
So we'll work on getting clarification on enforcement.
Right.
Any other council members have any questions or concerns about this?
I think it needs to happen.
Okay. So do we want to keep this as an update or a discussion item until we get that hashed out? Yeah, okay. Very good. Number 2, sewer system development charge. Like to, you wanna get Sue on here?
Yep.
Good evening, Sue, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here, hang on.
All right.
I'm currently working with, Tim Kubiak on, we were changing from line size to meter size, and the question came up about, what do we do for, those customers who are, 2% or less now, that are coming on to our system with wells, and we wanted to have that taken care of too in this calculation so that everything is there. And Tim and I are working on gallons per minute, horsepower and all of that, so it can be put into the ordinance and just no questions asked.
Okay,
Okay?
that'll work. Anything to add, Attorney Austin? I know you've been working with Sue as well.
I have. I'm concerned about the amount of time this is taking to get criteria down. Seems to change weekly. So getting the criteria down will allow us to finalize the text, if you will, and then allow us to draft the ordinance so that it's lawful and usable.
Okay.
Sue and I talk about this twice a week. Getting closer.
Would we, the utility board, gave us a recommendation on this favorable. Would we expect this to be an agenda item at the next meeting or two for hearing?
We hope so.
Yeah?
But things have changed over the past 4 weeks, so as you know.
I saw Sue nod a little bit.
Yeah. I just need, Tim and I need to hammer out the last little bit on the, how we want to price it out as per, gallons per minute, and we agree what is the base charge for that. And once that's done, then we can give the language that we feel explains it to David, and then he can wordsmith it.
Okay.
And and unfortunately, the problem for the confusion was me, but the line size created a lot of inaccuracies in doing the billing and the pricing, because the town standard minimum line size to a house is 1 inch. So essentially, you couldn't even put in a 5/8 meter. If you read the ordinance, most people will put in a 5/8 standard, 5/8 3/4 meter, but the minimum line size according to the town standards is 1 inch. So that's why the actual size of the meter is it has a GPM rating, and that's the gallons that's going into the system. So if you have a 3-inch line with a 5/8 meter, you're getting 5/8 water through that. If you have a 5/8, no matter what size line you have, the actual meter size is what's dictating the gallons of water going into the system. So that's why I wanted to change it. And essentially the wells, there's very few houses being built that are, just those scattered ones, the ones that do have wells, every well pump has a GPM rating, which we're just gonna base that on the same GPMs that'll go through a 5/8 meter. Will be for a 5/8 charge. If it's over that, it will be for a 1-inch charge, or if we're gonna do how much for each gallon per minute, because that's basically how Sue did the whole thing, so.
Okay.
We're close to it. It's just, it threw a wrench into it, but at the end of the day, when you read this now, for the last times, we look at it and we're charging everybody for a 5/8 3/4, but it says right in there line size, and their line size is really 1 inch.
Yeah.
So this clarifies all of that and straightens it out, and it's the right thing to do in my eyes, because now it's 100% proper.
Yeah. You can only use as much water as a 5/8 meter will push.
100%, and I appreciate, Sue did a great job switching it over, and now it makes 100% sense to everybody involved, so it's a good thing.
Awesome. All right.
And this is just for new homes,
This is for all system development charges.
on new homes.
Correct, yes,
Yeah.
for new
And
homes and new
This
businesses.
report that we're looking at, municipal sewer utility system development, charge calculations is also completely in the minutes we approved for the utility board.
Mhm.
I like that, Jennifer, being in there.
Sounds like there's going to be some updates.
A little bit, yeah.
All right, thank you, Sue.
Thank you.
Thank you. We'll move on to number 3, reimbursement for fire department training, discussion item. Chief Mager, did you have something for us on this? Or was,
Yeah, we discussed it earlier. We hope to, you guys are gonna meet, correct? Dave, you're gonna meet with him and get this taken care of,
We are.
reimbursement, so.
okay. We'll move on to reports, town council report. Mr. Carnahan, you have something?
Yes, I will be, doing, the flag raising, for Summerfest on Thursday, July 2nd, 2026 at 5 p.m. We'll have flag raising. And then on Friday, July 3rd at 12 noon, we'll have flag raising and the singing of the Star Spangled Banner. And Saturday, July 4th at 12 noon, we'll have the flag raising and the singing of the Star Spangled Banner. And Sunday, July 5th, 2026 at 12 noon. Also, Cedar Lake United Methodist Church will be doing a church service on Sunday, July 5th at 10 a.m. and Gloria Rivera Welsh is supposed to be singing that day for them.
Sounds like a busy weekend.
Yeah, and Project Love Food Pantry is open tomorrow from 9 to 11:30.
All right, thank you, Bob. You have something?
And part of celebrating our country's 250th birthday, of course, the Summerfest will be held. We'll also be offering 250 items we're going to give away each day. July 4th, we're going to give away cupcakes in honor of our country's birthday. We also are offering a contest for children 12 and under if they make a birthday card for our country, and the winner will receive $250. And then 13 and older, if they make a poster promoting our country's birthday of 250 years, they will receive a $250 cash prize. And then I wanted to ask the chief, grant money that we received, what is going to be used for that? I read about it in the paper and I just caught it.
Which one?
The grant from Frank Mervan's office for the federal funds.
That's for radios.
For radios?
That's what we put in for that, yes.
Okay. And that amount was it 300,000 that we received?
Well, we didn't receive anything yet. That's what we applied for.
What we applied for.
Who got the grant
If you
for
know
us?
something that I don't, let me know.
Okay.
Who got the grant for us? Who was the one who applied for the grant?
We did, Doug Machock put that together, applied for it with Frank Mervan's office.
Okay.
Thank you. That's great to hear.
Any other town council reports? He's got the thing to read, yeah. Do you have anything, Rich?
Nope.
Okay, I have, I guess, a report that may turn into a little discussion. The report was that, we had found out over the past few months that some of our engineering costs that are supposed to be on the burden of the developer, some of that is not being covered by the developer, whatever development it may be. And at the end of the day, I just don't think that the taxpayers should be subsidizing any projects in town, period. So we need to figure out how we're gonna fix that. I talked with Luke, with Christopher B. Burke a couple days ago, and he had some ideas. My understanding, and Tim, correct me if I'm wrong, or Mr. Austin, that we charge 3% inspection fee on these projects. The problem is the projects that go on far too long, that's where we're having the problem. These ones that move along quick, I don't think we seem to be having a problem with, but these ones that drag on and on and on, years and years, and I think everybody knows what projects those are. So we need to come up with a solution to that, because we can't fund private entities coming into our town. We just shouldn't. So Luke has suggested like maybe a flat fee for public works inspections, and then direct billing the developer. CBEL would be direct billing the developer. Dave, I briefly mentioned this to you, this discussion we had. You seem to have maybe had an idea as well.
It would seem to me, and we shared this, that on a periodic basis there'd be a fee it be charged and it be collected for project inspections or for any reason we need to call out our engineer. And that at the back end, or on a periodic basis, every 6 months, every year, whatever it is, the calculated amount expended be charged and or paid before any other continued development activity occurs. In other words, you get, they have to get. It seems to me that gets attention pretty quickly. It's assigned responsibility. It's a bill like any other. If you're building a house or seeing a commercial building or whatever, the bills come every month. They don't come at the end of the project, and they get paid, or they don't. And if they don't, there's a lien. And if there's a lien, it's going to be collected. I'm suggesting something along those lines be thought about and massaged to, so that taxpayers don't pay the bill for private development, profit and or benefit.
I'm in favor of whatever the fastest solution is to get it in place. We gotta stop bleeding.
Tim, yeah, I wanted your take on this, because you're probably aware of some of the problems we've had.
I am. I mean, I guess at the end of the day, a big problem is our $2,000 MS4 fee is one-time charge, so that needs to be every year annually, because obviously that covers the charges for the first year, but as these developments drag on year after year after year, they don't follow up. And then another thing, just talking with Jennifer, like, we need to actually track or do something with these inspection fees, because we collect inspection fees at the time of preliminary final platting 7 years ago, and now we're paying the engineering fee, you know, reviews or whatever, you know, these inspection fees that were paid, you know,
After years of inflation.
They paid them 7 years ago, and that, you know, so when now that we slowed down and all these are, you know, as we were developing and stuff was moving on, we were collecting new monies, paying, you know, it kind of worked itself out, but now, you know, these things are all winding down, and we're doing all these inspections and paying out all this money, but, you know, at the end of the day, I think that the inspection fees were covered, but it was paid, you know, 6, 7, whatever years ago, and it's not, you know, what Jennifer said, most of that, those fees, when they get collected, goes into the general fund, and then, you know, we're paying for engineering out of our budgeted for the year, but again, this is, you know, with the slowdown in development, now, you know, we're winding up down, all these things are coming in, and no new dollars are coming in for any new inspection fees or MS4 fees. But for sure, the MS4 needs to be changed to annually for each development until, you know, their IDEM permit is done, you know, and that's a very easy term. As soon as they apply for that and get their permit gone, then we stop charging the fee, but until then, it needs to be charged.
So this is like a fee structure that we need to change. It's not like we're billing developers and they're not paying the bills, correct?
They are paying the bills, but like me and Jennifer talked about trying to track, you know, the dollars that we're actually spending on each development, you know, because we're saying, you know, we've had the rule of 3% fees, and I don't think we can answer that covers it for sure.
So it's something we need to change.
And like Nick said, when they drag on year after year, it's definitely something that we need to monitor and be more, you know, we need to be aware of that exact dollar amount and know if, you know, like David said, if we went up to 5% or whatever that we paid, then, you know, that's got to be paid by them, not us.
Yeah. So
I'm not certain I consider that even right. That isn't maybe even close. We did a study of what engineering costs were over a period of time. Let's take the biggest community in this community, Lennar, Rose Garden Estates. They were in here every month for years, every month. And they had engineers, they had our engineers, they had the Burke engineers. I mean, it was like a collection of inspectors over there once a month. So a report could go to the Plan Commission. The Plan Commission can choose some ass, and things got done or moved or handled. And my belief is, if looked at, if calculated a little more minutely, you're going to find it we're still giving away money.
So what's gonna be our, as Mr. Parker said, the quickest way we can do it, we also wanna do it right. What action does the town council need to take?
I'd recommend a report back to you next month. Let us sit and talk about it. We just started today
Okay?
talking about this. It's an important topic. There's a lot of money and taxpayer fees involved, costs involved, and we should know what we're talking about.
Okay.
Should we use Sue and Jen to work on some cost, estimates for us? Would that,
Susan, around.
The MS4
Well,
thing could be
I was-
taken care of right away.
I was gonna say, that MS4 is the storm, so that's completely different from discussions some of us have already
Right.
had regarding,
We just
you know,
changed
the
the
general
policy on
fund.
that,
Yeah.
and then come back and correct the inspection fee part of it.
Yeah, there's a fee section to the MS4 ordinance.
Is 2,000 enough?
2,000 a year?
Yeah. I still don't know what the expense is like. You take,
Yeah, we
is
need to-
2,000?
I'm with Dave, I think we need a little bit of time to look into that, because I wouldn't feel comfortable saying yes or no
Okay.
at this point. I would like to
That's fair,
see.
that's
Yeah.
fair.
So who can be tasked with gathering this information for us? Who has the information that would?
Well, I think it's.
We can run revenue reports and we can run expense reports and show, you know, what has come in and what's gone out of certain line items, but not every single receipt or expense is going to have the nitty-gritty detail. Building and planning is gonna have to go back to those CBEL expenses and, oh yes, this is truly related to, you know, inspection fees, this is related to this is related to that. And, I mean, are we gonna pick like a specific
That's what we need to do.
area, and are we gonna go, are we gonna go
subdivision.
start to finish, and are we gonna tear this thing apart?
Now, every year, can we do something like, everything's gone up, engineering's gone up a certain percentage each year. Well, every year the project drags out, can we charge them that percentage if it goes up 2%? Tack on an extra 2% what they paid for originally? Because, like, especially the ones from 8 years ago, we had engineer fees they're paying from 8 years earlier, and then taxpayers are paying for that now.
Yeah, you probably can. There needs to be a little bit of due diligence, so we don't crawl over the line and overcharge. There is a balancing test here. We need to be uniform, non-discriminatory, and equal.
I just want the taxpayers to be made whole, that's all. And I don't think they are.
I agree.
So, is there, can they get us some sampling over there, Tim? Maybe some of the projects that you have off the top of your head where you say, hey, you know, I think these ones are a little bit out of whack, where...
Yes, I mean, I think that we need to pick a couple specific developments, and then we need to kind of try to dig through and find what happens, but, like, in, you know, like, just say Summer Winds, for example, that went on for 7-8 years, like, the actual engineering, like inspections and, you know, those guys going out there, I mean, we went out there for a few problems and stuff like that, but those true inspections haven't happened until recent, you know, so same thing with Rose Garden, you know, they happened and then they dropped the ball and then they actually are paid for the second set of inspections because it was above and beyond what was done, but I think that the time frame, and again, we don't know until we look, you know, we look into, but they paid an inspection fee that and we didn't use for 5 or 6 years at all. You know, we used it obviously, but then those, you know, now it's coming up where we need that money and it wasn't, but like, it seems like in order to track it, we almost need to take that money and put it in, you know, an account for that neighborhood, but I know that's not a thing, you know.
Well, remember, I've already talked about how the legislature has changed and building and planning fees will now have to go into a dedicated fund. It'll, starting January 1, 2027, it's gonna be separate from your general fund.
And we need to circle back to direct billing, anything that's over the project, Christopher Burke identifies it and they pay the actual cost.
Well, maybe...
I'm of the opinion that direct billing is also a good way to go. take us out as the middleman.
Probably like that.
So maybe what we can do, because MS4 ordinance was mentioned, maybe this new ordinance committee can get together with staff. And because I need a better understanding of how this works. I just know that Sue's mentioned it, it's been mentioned before that, we're not getting the collections. And to Julie's point, it's not because the developers aren't paying, it's because they're not getting a bill, I guess. So we'll get the zoning ordinance committee together and we'll try to schedule something with building department staff and try to get better understanding and wrap our heads around it. How's that sound? Mm-hmm. Good?
Another thing we're doing now is, Christopher B. Burke was giving us a monthly report, and now they're going to do a quarterly report, so that should save a little money.
Yeah, I talked with Luke about that, because as you know, those reports don't have many updates on them, and it'll save us a few bucks to go quarterly. But Luke mentioned if there's something that we need to know, he'll push it out there to us in between. All right, we got some work to do there. Any other town council reports? Town attorney, Attorney Austin? Thanks, sir. Clerk Treasurer, Ms. Sandberg?
It is summer, which means it is budget time, so I'll be starting to look at the calendar and coordinate meetings with department heads, and then as we get things going again with council affairs, we'll get meetings scheduled.
Very good. Thank you, ma'am. Number 4, Director of Operations, Mr. Kubiak.
I'd just like to report on, we've had a lot of rain over these past little bit of time, and we did open up a pipe from the detention ponds in the industrial park to Summer Winds and, out to the lake. And I did a lot of driving around over these past big rain events, and you gotta really, I know we spent a lot of money on engineering, and we pay a lot of money on engineering, but to see how all these new developments performed in that large rain event is incredible, to say the least. All them ponds are full, everything's drained to the lake, nobody's houses are flooded. It's impressive. If you go through Rose Garden, Summer Winds, the industrial park, Beacon Point, there's places with water, don't get me wrong, but that water is controlled and that water is going where it's supposed to go, and it's awesome to see compared to in the old days, stuff washing out and blowing out and all the surrounding neighbors flooded. It's super impressive to see. So I don't know if anybody else took note of that, but I did a lot of looking around and looking at the ponds and walking out in the backyard and seeing where stuff is going, and it was really good to see. So with that money spent, regardless, I think that, the reviews and the development that has happened is being done, this stuff is being done properly and working properly, so that's awesome.
I went over to Summer Winds because Storm Board has heard about a problem with the connection of King Street, and it looked clear to me during the storm.
No, on the Summer Winds, people got a little excited because their pond is filling up more because they just now put the restrictor in, so the water's flowing slower because the restrictor hadn't been in, but that's working absolutely how it's supposed to. So, very cool, very nice to see, and I guess at the end of the day, to see this many houses in here, and there's a couple people with some puddles, and I'm not saying it's 100% perfect, but people's houses aren't underwater, the water's controlled going to where it's supposed to go, and it was pretty neat to see. And then the other thing is just with the rain also, we developed a roof leak around the AC unit over here above the records room, I guess. It's kind of in between the circle roof and the flat roof of the police department. So we got that roofing contractor coming out to seal around the ducts and redo the furnace. And we also need to look into putting some new siding on both of the circle ends of this building because that cedar is gone. It's deteriorated. So we're going to be getting we got one estimate. We got the same guys who did the roof on the police station to do the flashing around the ductwork and stuff because it's their material and want that stuff to, to work together and get it taken care of. But we're going to get a couple more estimates on the siding also, so that's coming.
What's the update on the community crossing grant roads? What's happening with the roads?
That's a better question for Jennifer, since she's our,
I mean, what,
I mean, as
how
far
are,
as-
how are we proceeding with the roads?
well, they're over here in the shades working on that. They're doing curbs now. They're getting ready to start on curbs this week. So that's moving along. And then, obviously, to come here in the fall is going to be 145th and that area repaving. And then the road raising project is in October, correct? The letting of it?
The letting will be in October. We
So
probably
it'll be in
won't
spring.
start construction until next spring.
That's the dip on 133rd by Lemon Lake Park and Robin's Nest.
Yep.
Yes, sir.
All right, anything else, Tim?
That's all I have. Thank you.
All right, thank you, sir. Police Department, Chief Grushka.
Sure, for the month of May, our activity report, we had 1,028 calls for service. We had 409 traffic stops. Of those, we issued 357 warnings and 150 citations. We had 583 law incident reports. Of those, we made 20 arrests, where we filed 24 charges. We had 79 ordinance warnings written and 25 ordinance citations written. Also, as an update, we posted some more information on e-bikes. We're working on some more education for e-bike safety and what, we've had a couple incidents in the last month, and what I'm seeing is that the bikes are in that 1 and 2 class, which is what you want, where there's really not a lot. It's almost just like a regular bicycle. The problem we're having is once the bikes get to the kids, them not following the rules of the road. And that's where we're trying to gear our education towards, is getting them learn to stop at stop signs, yield, that kind of things. Just like stuff we do every day when we're driving a car. Well, most of us do anyway. So that's what we're trying to do.
And as you indicated at the safety board meeting, this is state law.
Right. Yeah, it's what we're following. So, also you'll see in the packet, we received our utilization review report for our employee assistance program. Just the usage. I just think it's a great thing that we give our employees a chance to get some help if they need it, them and their families. Also, during May, at the end of May, we had our District 1 Awards Banquet, and can't say it enough times, but Officer Dills received a life-saving award event for her event that occurred where she actually saved a gunshot victim's life that night.
2 people that day.
Yeah, she did a good job. Yeah, she gave CPR to one, and then wound up applying a pressure to a gunshot victim, and saved that man's life.
And as you indicated, you've never seen an officer do what you did.
No, that's she had quite an hour. It was just done in 1 hour for her. So
Well deserved.
real proud of her. Also, just last on the June 7th, we had several members attend the Protecting Canine Heroes here in Cedar Lake at the Knights of Columbus. In attendance was Deputy Chief Carl Brittingham. Officer Tomko and Johnny were there, of course. Sarah, our VIPS, was there. And I was there along with my wife, too, who does a great job supporting everything I do. So that was really nice. And it was a nice event. It was good to see the public gets to see how our canines work. And there was a nice demonstration put on. As far as, I already touched on it, but I'll reiterate again. We're currently in a hiring process. Right, and we had 34 applications that we received from the department, that our department received, and we had 18 go through the written and physical testing, where we went down to 14. We just completed the interviews last week with our hiring board, which is made up of officers from the police department. Right now, we're down to 6, and next week we'll interview those 6. It'll be myself and the board of safety. Then we'll see how they do in our interview. And then, let's see, our tire department has completed firearms training, and we're currently still in our Police One training, and that should be done by the end of this month. And then, let's see, we also unfortunately received a letter of resignation from Officer Meyer. He's gonna be a big loss to the department, just a real, well-rounded officer. He was our training coordinator, and, just gonna be some hard shoes to fill. And also just wanted to say, we had a tornado pass through here. Unfortunately, it was in my subdivision, and we're doing some house cleaning. We were part of that, but I really want to say I was really just proud to be a resident of Cedar Lake. Neighbors came out, helped each other. I mean, literally, I think I called Mr. Recupito that right after that, and the vortex of the tornado was probably within 30, 50 feet of my squad car. And I saw some damage that the tornado did, tore shingles off, damaged trees, and it was just nice, once the tornado passed, just all the people that came out trying to make sure all their neighbors were all right. It was just nice to see, and just made me feel real good to be a resident here too.
How did the neighbors get that camper right side up?
That I don't know. They called us and wanted us to tip it over for them. And said, "Hey, we're not that professional with that. We're in that field." So, and I also want to give a big kudos though to Public Works. They came out and did a really good job cleaning up things. That night they got some of the roads opened up, particularly Lowerman and 147th. There was a lot of debris there. They came out, they hit that, and then the next day they were out by Pinecrest cleaning up, and then they made it over to Lynn's Way and really did a nice job cleaning things up there. I talked to Tim King. He said they're going to be out there this week too, just finishing up some of the like tree and debris that's still laying around.
And on the news today, they listed us on Channel 32 that we had an EF0 tornado in Cedar Lake and St. John too.
Yeah.
And they said that there has been in the Chicagoland area 140 tornadoes already this year, and our average for the year is only 54. So we've exceeded that.
Well, they said it was an EF0, but from where I was sitting in that squad car, it looked a lot bigger than that. So, and also, we're working with the Board of Safety right now to tighten up on our promotion process, and we hope to get that. We're dealing with some consultants, vendors on that, and hopefully we'll have that soon. But that's all I have right now.
That's all. Thank you, Chief. All right, we'll move on to the Fire Department. Chief Mager?
Start with staffing. Last week at the Board of Safety meeting, Captain Conradi was promoted to the rank of Battalion Chief. Application process for the administrative assistant closed last Friday. Had, I believe, 24 applicants. Clerk Treasurer Sandberg and I are currently reviewing them. We'll start scheduling interviews, time permitted, both of our schedules. Then I'd like to recognize numerous staff members over the past few weeks with end of school. They participated in different field days at the school on the egg drop, so it was a lot of fun. Moving on to financing, as of May 31st, the fiscal year is 41% complete with 34% of our budget utilized. The training report is within your packet for month of May. Total hours were 310. Currently no major needed equipment or apparatus repairs. Monthly activity report is also within your packet. Total incidents for May were 229, 182 were EMS related, 28 fire related, and 19 vehicle accidents.
All right. Thank you, Chief.
You're welcome.
Move on to the Parks Department. Good evening, Greg.
Good evening, everyone. How are we doing?
Good, how are you?
I'm doing well. I know we're here for this part, so let's do this. So Wahlberg Park, the landscaping project is being completed by the Parks Department. So now the Parks Foundation will come in and do their part. Obviously, as we all seen on town grounds, the walking path has been installed, that is completed. A lot of people have been using it, and I would like to say that a lot of people are very pleased with it, to be completely honest with you. Going on the recreation side, so obviously movies in the park on June 10th got canceled due to the bad weather, so we're going to redo it again on the 24th. Soccer registration is going on, it started on June 15th. We had the Blueberry Festival still going on as well for registration, and then Lakeside Artists Guild will be here this Saturday. And then the last thing we got is that street sweeper contest, that is going on till the 30th. That's still going on, and we do have some applications for that, actually. Some pretty good ones, too, so, yeah. That's all I got for you guys.
All right, thank you, Greg.
Of course.
We'll move on to written communication. Building Department report is in the packet for the month of May. We had 16 new residential construction permits, and as we stated earlier, the Christopher B. Burke report, we won't have one this time around. We'll be doing those quarterly.
And 39 total building permits for the year.
For new homes? Yep, yes, sir. Mr. Parker, did you have a written communication you wanted to read?
Yes.
Okay.
This communication is from Cheryl Reeves, who lives in the area of Bob's neighborhood. As you may recall, I previously was awarded the bid on a landlocked parcel that was later vacated at the town council meeting due to errors in the parcel documents. And conditions were there as was an abandoned building was being utilized as an unauthorized repair garage. That building was later removed, demolished, after the person operating the repair shop was ejected from the property as well as trespassed. This property is again available for bid, but only to adjacent owners. As an adjacent owner, I fully intend to once again bid on this property in hopes of creating a more quiet neighborhood. Here are my concerns that I would like to address at tonight's meeting. A meeting I am unable to attend either in person or virtually. The previously ejected party has since put up tents and fencing. It appears the tents may be standing on or into the bid property. Also, the fence, which I assume was properly and legally installed, has an adjacent extension, which may also be impeding onto the bid property line. This extension is attached to the neighbor at the point, to the neighbor's fence at the point which seems to be at the same location where the previous survey marker was mysteriously dug up and removed. During the prior property owner and usage dispute, my questions for the town are this. Is the town verifying this property is offered without another unauthorized user on the property, and one that is impeding the easement space, this time with tents and fencing instead of a brick and mortar structure? And is the town offering this property for bid as is and shifting the ejection and or need to trespass cost for the successful bidder to determine which was the same concern and the prior reason that the property bid was vacated previously? As a note, this bid is due by June 29th. I assume the town meeting is the last option for the council to address or respond. Thank you, Cheryl Reeves. So I guess the question is, your part of it, was that fence constructed with a permit?
Yep.
And is it in the correct spot?
It was permitted to go in the correct spot. We do not survey. I don't know 100% if this thing has been final inspected or not inspected, but I know that it was permitted.
Okay.
I would have to look at that. I mean, normally we look to see, you know, if it lines up, if there is survey markers in those little neighborhoods, basically, we look at it, lines up with the other fences or whatever we have to go by, but, we do not survey it, so, and we don't really get into property line disputes, you know, or whatever, but,
Well, I think that the only reason why this is a concern is this property is owned by the town and the town is selling it and offering it.
no, yeah, I understand, but I guess at the end of the day, I don't know that the fence was inspected, so I can definitely look into it though and see.
Okay. I haven't been over there, so I don't know what tent structure is over there and what.
And I have no idea either, but the tent thing sounds concerning. The fence was permitted, he had a survey, and it was permitted to go on the rear property line. I do know that.
Okay.
Where it actually is constructed, you know, do not, but there was definitely a fence already to the east of there.
I just was made aware of this at the last
And
minute
it
today,
seemed to
so.
look like, you know, in the past, it looked like those property lines were pretty close. There was that 2-foot walking or that 2-foot strip,
White
the
strip.
fence, and then that building was just beyond it, so, I know that part of the fence was up when I actually was tearing down the building, and it, to me, according to everything that I looked like, it seemed to be fairly in the proper place, let's just say, but I don't know what you read there with an extension or something like that, I don't know where
I
that.
don't know.
I have
either.
no idea. But the initial fence back in the couple, I mean, that was a year and a half ago or whenever, but that fence was when the building was still there, and it looked to be in the right spot to me by everything that I had to see.
So if
We'll
there's
check on it.
and I guess I move on to you now, Dave. If there's an encumbrance on this property and it is purchased by somebody, they can certainly remove it, correct?
They can do whatever they want. If they're buying it as is, or buying whatever's within the four corners of the lot. They can do what they want.
The property is being offered for sale as is. If they're successful, they can do whatever they want to remove whatever's on that property. Okay. Doesn't require an eviction or anything like that.
I haven't seen the property.
I've never seen an eviction on a vacant piece of property, but I'm
We're
not.
in a tent.
Well, you've never seen an encroachment.
Evicted out of this tent.
I'm sorry.
Evicted out of the tent?
Part of it. It was first zero.
Ms. Reeves, I hope that answers your question.
I'd like to get a copy of that letter so I can read it and answer the questions that were asked there.
Sure. I'll forward it to you, Tim.
Thank you.
It's all good?
Yeah, I think
Okay,
I covered it.
sounds good. Thank
Before we
you.
move to public comment, I don't know if we want to recognize the two gentlemen in the,
Yeah,
would like to introduce themselves.
I had you guys on the list. I see you sitting up here. Do you guys, are you here for a particular reason, or you want to introduce yourselves, or you got a project?
They called me and wanted to know about our meeting, and, he's here to earn a badge for reviewing a meeting.
Oh, okay.
I'm working on my community badge.
Okay, very
Awesome.
good.
Want to let us know your name?
Moran.
Thank you.
I'm Rory Rand, the 9 Scott. And drive.
All right.
Thank you.
Thanks for being with us tonight, guys.
Your last meeting.
First and last.
With that being said, we'll open the floor for public comment for the council. And please just state your name and address for the record.
Lisa Morrow, 13318 Morris Street. Can we please have an ordinance for kids to wear helmets on bikes? I just picked up a kid this week. He had a big gash on his head, lost the tip of his finger, and he had a big gash on his leg. He was wearing, I don't know what they're called, like oversized shoes with, there was no tip on it. They're
Slides.
Slides, okay. And, yeah, it was a bloody mess.
In order-
And if he wore a helmet, at least he wouldn't have had the gash on his head.
Yeah.
Lost all his marbles.
You think
Thank
the,
you.
you think the parents would have,
You'd
you know,
think.
they gotta pay the doctor bills on those things.
I know, a lot of blood I had to do, but
Yeah.
didn't bother me.
Well, we'll take it under advisement, Mr.
Thank you.
Ferrara. Appreciate it. Anyone else for public comment?
Hi,
Hi,
Barbara
good evening.
Orsi, 10290 West 138th Place. Actually, I have a question, and I was paying attention, but it's not quite clear to me. I have a question about these two committees that were formed or reformed tonight and people appointed. I'm not quite sure what prompted the formation of new committees and what the responsibilities are for each, so I was hoping you could clarify that for me, because I didn't get it the first time around.
Sure. Well, I guess the Council Affairs Committee could speak more on this, because you guys have handled this before, but we had a Council Affairs Committee before, and now, especially with the absence of a town manager, I think it's very important, but if Ms. Dixon and Mr. Teal previously served on there, if they want to mention exactly what you guys were doing?
Yeah, I guess I can start, I mean,
Yeah, like what
more
kind
so
of-
with,
what kind of
like Dick
stuff?
said, with the absence of a town manager now, we thought it'd be within the best interest for communication, you know, between, plan commission meetings and stuff like that, getting back to building department, issues, you know, anything going on daily things, you know, down here at the town hall that we need to be knowing about with the absence of the manager, that we can, you know, just have better communication. I don't know what else you'd like to.
Budgets.
Budgets as well.
Kind of usual stuff that you're taking over and juggling when you don't have a manager.
Correct.
Specifically.
Yeah.
Okay.
And also exit reviews for employees.
Yeah,
I mean, no
when
big,
requested.
you know, I don't know, I've never seen a job description for the town manager, so I don't know what all that person was responsible for. So it appears that what you're doing is just splitting things up and saying you take this part and you take that part for the time being, more or less.
More or less, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, and the other one, the other committee, for the zoning ordinance, we've been discussing this for what seems like a couple of years now with redoing the zoning ordinance and stuff without really getting any, traction on it. So this committee is gonna be to, review the current zoning ordinance.
Good.
See where any discrepancies are with it, and then make those corrections moving forward, because there's, you know, like with the, like we stated, the chicken ordinance, stuff like
Thank
that.
you, yes.
You know, Plan Commission doesn't want to be the ones to say, here, this is what it's gonna be. They wanted to see a committee. It does go from the Plan Commission to a recommendation to council, but that's why Greg, myself, and Nick are on that, so we can go through the whole, you know, zoning ordinance.
Well, I
and-
mean, I think as someone who's been, you know, in a management role, part of the job was to review policy on a regular basis.
Mhm.
And in this case, with a town policy, is like zoning, like the ordinances. And I don't get the feeling that that's been done on a regular basis, so it's probably time to do that.
It's long overdue.
It's long overdue, so thank you for doing that. I know how much fun that is.
And just to be clear, you know, the committees aren't gonna make any decisions like the zoning ordinance committee. It'll be just a working group to kind of present something
Yeah.
to
Right,
whatever
and-
it is, Plan Commission, council,
Okay, yeah,
for approval.
I appreciate that.
You're
yeah, but,
welcome.
yeah, have fun with it, but yeah.
Thanks.
Rooting for the chickens.
Thank you. Anyone else for public comment? Come on up, Nick. Nice shirt, by the way.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome.
I live at 7,000 West, 27th place, over
Yeah.
here in Cedar Lake.
You gotta give us your name too for the record. please.
Nicholas Willie.
All right, thanks, sir.
I do have a question for Tim. I noticed on the other side of the town is overflowing. This little pond over here is overflowing. It's going down to the neighbor's property, and I noticed that it's overflowing, that area.
Tim, are you aware of this? Is this something right off here off of Morris?
Yeah, it's, when you go down that way, and you look down that way, and there's this pond over here, this little pond, it's overflowing.
That's all the water from the lake, Nick. heading to Lake Dale.
That's, that little pond?
Was 4 inches of rain in?
Crosses
Yeah.
over, yeah, that's where it's coming from. If you go down there by the you'll see it coming out of the lake and it's heading down that way across. The pond's got a
there-
little bit of excessive water because of how much is going through it, but that's what it's from.
Yeah, 'cause I did notice that,
About 3 more days, if it doesn't rain, it'll be looking good.
I mean, make sure, there's little goldfish in there.
Go fishing.
Little goldfish, I'm like, what is that? Oh, it's not, I see little goldfish jumping out of the water.
It'll
That's
come,
just
it'll come
amazing.
down, as Tim said,
Yeah,
it'll come down.
It should go down, but
Yeah.
it's going toward the neighbor's property, and it's going through the other area too.
Yeah. Keep
Oh,
our
they
fingers
need-
crossed we don't get too much
They need
rain
to look
tomorrow.
at something on that.
Throw that fish back in the lake if you get a chance.
He's long gone.
Yeah, and the girl, so, I mean, just stuff like that, is there a liaison through the school that should be coming, passing this on? Because I think it'd be good for the town council to recognize these people and.
Yeah, and we have before, I think we did the Hanover.
The shooting thing was the
yeah,
last
shoot-
one I remember.
Yeah, trap and skeet, and I don't remember if that was triggered by the school or not, if they approached us, that was so long ago, but there's been a lot of accomplishments.
It just,
I
we
agree.
just
Yeah.
take a couple minutes just to recognize the things that they've
Yeah.
accomplished.
Oh, yeah, yes,
The
Chaplain.
Girl Scouts team is being recognized at the Hanover School Board meeting tonight.
Oh,
So
okay,
maybe they could be here at a future day.
Okay,
But
Okay,
they
I wasn't aware of that.
conflict with that.
Frank Mervan came out for the skeet team,
yeah.
so when they came in here for that, he came out here personally.
yeah, I was here, yeah, but it just seems like there's a lot of stuff that happens that.
A lot of good
maybe
things.
We just be a little bit more proactive.
And our police department participated in the, I don't know if you want to call it a parade?
We did an escort.
An escort.
So did the fire department.
Oh, and the fire department, yeah, so
We're working
that
on
was
getting
the
better.
town.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, sir.
announcing. Thank you.
It was good about that resolution for the 250.
Oh, good, I'm
Yeah.
glad you enjoyed it. Anyone else?
Terry Broder, 631 North State Street, Lockport, Illinois, representing my property here in town at 14513 Morris. I wanted to go back to the segment of our engineering. It was very good dialogue that we had, and of course, you guys know I'm in just about all the meetings where I'm watching a lot of our engineering being exercised. And I've often wondered, as realizing as a builder, your permitting process incorporates engineering reviews and all those types of things that are taking place on an average build. And that's all built in. Of course, you're right, every year there's inflation, 3%, cost of living, all of those things. But as I'm watching in this room, meeting after meeting, and watching Luke in that chair and before him, Don, on a lot of these projects, it goes above and beyond the scope of engineering, the scope of review, and the scope of inspection that you would have in your permitting costs. And even the bigger developments the same way. So my question is, when we're going back to our engineer and asking to review revisements and additions to and seconds, and I mean, some of our projects, as you said, are 7 years old and they've been involved for a long time. Are we billing back to the developers those hourly costs that they may be billing to the town to do these additional reviews and additional inspections? I'm just wondering that, I got to imagine how many hours slip through the cracks that need to be put back on the problem causer, we should say, if not followed the rules that were presented and approved. I mean, I've seen it in many of our board meetings, storm, planning, zoning, BZAs. There's a lot of times where things aren't done properly that create enormous amounts of problems, enormous amounts of costs, enormous amount of engineering and work and meeting time. I guess my question is, are we billing the developers and the builders and the residents that are creating these problems?
Yeah, I mean, it starts with somebody as small as me. I did it, before I was on the council, I requested a vacate a right-of-way, and that was simple. I got billed for that and moved on, but that was a very clean and simple project, and I should pay 100% of that.
Yeah.
And Lennar should pay 100% of theirs. According to staff, we're not getting 100% of that back. And like I said, I believe it's an issue on our end, but that's why we're gonna get together as a group, because I need a better understanding of how this works. But it's alarming when I find out that, you know, we're subsidizing, you as a taxpayer, we're all subsidizing these projects. And we shouldn't be. It's
But we're
really
gonna
easy to
fix
fix.
it.
We're gonna fix it, yeah.
I appreciate that.
Yeah.
And I just got one thing for Tim. Tim, when we do the siding on these two sides, we're not gonna use the same siding we use on the fire department, are we?
Thank you, Terry.
No, sir. That was a joke.
All right, the last call for public comment. Anybody online, Ms. Sandberg?
No attendees.
Okay, thank you. Public comment is now closed. I hope everybody has a great Independence Day, be safe, and have fun. This meeting is adjourned at 8:45 PM.